is the nature.
Okay, good. So are you making a distinction between God's nature and his aspects? Is there a distinction? There is?
Yes.
How can it be a distinction?
Because the aspect that is projected in the finite cannot be the infinite God.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand what you said. Are the aspects a essential nature? Are the aspects from the essential nature of God or not?
The aspect is what God chose to reveal to us.
No, I asked you a question.
That's what is called the persona.
No, that's not the answer. That's not the answer to my question. No, you answered my question.
I showed you the definition of persona a few minutes ago. That's what it says.
You didn't answer my question.
I answered your
Are
question.
the aspects of God a part of his? In other words, when I say essential nature, essential so they can't be separated. Are they essentially part of his nature or not? Or can they be separate from him?
You know, when
did you answer my question?
I understand your question, but sometimes you need to explain things with some mental concepts so that people understand. When I gave the example of the moon, the answer that
you're going to... What's that going to be my question?
When I gave the example of the moon, think about it. When you say the aspect that you see...
It's very easy. Sorry. Okay, let's go back to your analogy. The moon. So in your analogy, what is the aspect and what is the essence?
The aspect is what we see.
Sorry?
What you see, what you perceive.
What I can see. Can I see God's knowledge?
What you perceive.
Sorry. Can I see God's knowledge?
We talk about knowledge. You ask me what's the aspect.
Excuse me.
The aspect is what you see.
Excuse me.
When you see the crescent moon, this is what you see.
Excuse me.
This is what God chose.
Excuse me. The Bible says, be slow to speak, quick to listen in Timothy.
But you are speaking more than me, by the way.
Excuse me.
You are speaking more than me.
I know, because
you guys are speaking more than me.
You're supposed to know more than us. That's why you're asking a lot of questions, right? About your religion, about your belief. Good. By aspect, we mean attribute. For example,
you mean attribute.
Okay.
Me, I don't mean attribute.
Okay, so what do you mean by aspect? What do you mean by aspect? Is an attribute or not? Is an aspect an attribute or not? What is it?
Does that have a definition?
I just gave you that in the case.
What's the definition of aspect?
You ask a question and you're talking.
Let's look at the definitions and see whether he agrees with
the way I explain it is based on the Bible. When the Bible says the Word of God became incarnated, okay? Yes. I say this is an aspect of God.
What does that mean?
Did I say that this is an attribute of God?
No, you didn't. But what do you mean? That's the only way I can understand it. So what do you mean by aspect? What is the definition?
The only way you can understand is by analogy.
No. What is the definition of aspect? You can't say you can't define it.
A feature of something. A particular part or a feature of something. Feature, which is an attribute.
That's a sifa. That's an attribute.
An aspect of God.
What is it?
So let's say when you see the crescent moon, you see an aspect of the moon.
Is knowledge an aspect of God? Is knowledge an aspect of God?
Is the knowledge an aspect of God?
Is knowledge an aspect of God or not?
I don't know. How can I answer this?
What do you mean you don't know?
No, did Jesus come down on the earth with knowledge or not?
Okay, you just came. I just answered this many times.
Okay, that's fine. I didn't hear it. So you can answer it for me.
So when we come back,
okay, Rafa, look.
This has been recorded, by the way. Unless someone is editing what I'm going to say. Last time was edited.
Very childish. No. Very childish.
What you say.
The only argument that you have is
come on, you're talking to him now.
Videos are edited.
Be fair.
Last time I talked to
I had a question.
Hashim, it was edited by
Excuse me, here's the question.
Okay, I know it was edited because another Muslim channel didn't edit it. So that's why I'm not saying it's not Chinese.
Look, deal with the argument. Don't forget about the camera.
Okay.
In this discussion, concentrate and focus on what you discuss.
You said that the aspects of God, some of them came down in the form of Jesus, right, when he was incarnated. Right? Is knowledge an aspect of God?
No, knowledge is not God in an infinite has the knowledge.
Yep. So is that part of his nature or its aspect?
Yes. Okay. The aspect is a
manifestation.
Is a manifestation. Is not. You cannot say. Let's say if I look. That's why I give an example so that you grasp. When I look the moon, I see the person. This is an aspect what I see.
That's fine.
I don't see the entirety.
That's fine. So when Jesus came down,
so that's the difference between aspect.
When Jesus came down in the form of a man, did he have any knowledge of God? Did he have any knowledge of God?
Yes.
Where did this knowledge come from?
Come from his nature.
From his nature?
Yeah.
Not from his aspect?
Who gave him that?
No, okay.
Wait. So if it came from his nature, when he was on this earth, was his nature infinite or not?
It was finite.
It was finite. So, but the Father in heaven, was that infinite nature? Was his nature infinite? It was infinite, right? So when Jesus was on the earth, did he have infinite knowledge or not?
No.
At all, at any time?
No, can I answer? Quite quickly. I already explained, but since you just came, I will explain.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so since it's the aspect of God, when we call Jesus Christ, the Word of God, the person of God in flesh. Okay, so Jesus Christ said he doesn't know the hour.
He doesn't know the hour, yes.
The reason why he said he doesn't know the hour, and I gave the example to Mansur a few minutes ago, is because this time, this day, is in the infinite. It's like, as I said, the number. Okay, I gave this example of, let's say I take a stone and I throw at you, and I tell you the stone is going to reach your forehead in pi seconds. You know pi, right? I'm sure you know pi. 3.14 and so on.
22/7.
Okay. So when I say
it's going to reach my head in pi seconds.
In pi seconds. Okay.
Imagine if he was going to hit you into a pi second.
But that doesn't make any sense.
No. If I tell you that,
for the sake of argument.
So you will never be able to tell me exactly when the stone is going to reach your forehead.
I would say it's impossible because pi seconds doesn't make any sense.
Why doesn't it?
Because pi
is a number.
Pi is a circumference of a circle.
No,
it's not.
He doesn't know. Pi is a number.
You're using the wrong measurement.
So we're saying he's using the concept of pi as in 3.14 and all the decimal places afterwards, which is like a memorandum because it's 22/7, right? So it has no end. So he's saying it will take infinite time to reach you, but we know that it's not the case.
But how can it be an infinite? How can it take an infinite time to reach you when you're in a finite state of being?
Let me finish.
No.
Yes, a question. You don't.
No, but I understand it. I understand what
you ask a question.
Okay, go on.
You will never be able to tell me exactly. We know it's gonna stop. We know for a fact that it's going to stop. We can say it's gonna reach your point in less than 4 seconds.
How long you been?
But the exact time you will never be able to know. Why? Because it is.
Right. So only the Father knows at the instance the Son doesn't know, right?
Yeah, because it's like let me finish. It's like me telling you to recite that one. In a finite, you cannot know.
I want to take over. No, I'm not on camera. I'm just only my voice on camera.
That's Ricky. This is your point of
I thought that was that proper coffee. He keeps liquid cool for about 24 hours. Apparently.
Yes.
I told someone.
I think I'm the guy that the Islamic concept of God is more maximally perfect than the Christian concept of God.
Okay, go ahead.
Islam states that all God's aspects, including his nature, firstly his aspects, i.e. his attributes, are a necessary concomitant of his nature. So if God is infinite, his aspects are infinite.
Yes.
I.e. his attributes are
One follows the other,
right?
naturally.
So what we say is that there can never be a time where God's attributes can be less than perfect.
Yes.
So we say that this is the greatest conceivable being.
Yes.
That being is maximally perfect.
Yes.
Here's the Christian concept. God.
No, I understand.
That's fine. Okay, God the Father has all knowledge, but there came a time of 33 years out of an infinite amount of time, 33 years, where an aspect of God, whether you want to call it a third of God, whether you want to call it the person of God,
Or the word or anything.
a word of God, any part of God came down, whatever came down on the earth, it was ignorant for 33 years. Now, which one is more maximally perfect? The Christian concept where God is less than perfect in terms of his knowledge, or the Islamic concept where God is fully knowledgeable?
Okay.
And which one is more, okay, one more. Rafa, which one's more worthy of being worshipped? Which one's more worthy of being worshipped, my friend?
Can I answer you without you interrupting? I think you guys, so far it has been okay. So, this is not a question of perfect or imperfect.
Why not?
Well, it's concerning God. Why can't it be?
Can I
Let me finish. Yeah, you can explain it. Go ahead.
Okay. It's not a question of perfect or imperfect. The infinite God still knows. It's a way of God communicating to us in the finite. No, can I finish? The difference between our belief and you guys' belief is that we say God created the world which is finite. God is in an infinite reality. he can interact with the finite. Okay, so that makes the big difference between Muslims and Christians. We believe God interacts, and the way God interacts with the finite is through His word and through His Spirit.
By becoming finite.
Exactly. That's why I explained some of these aspects projecting in the finite.
The sun became finite. Yes.
So, exactly. So, but the knowledge in terms of perfection, in fact, it would, as I say to you, it's not because it is imperfect. It's because it would be a logical contradiction for Jesus to say, "I know the hour," because this hour.
Yeah, because he's ignorant, like you said. The aspect of Jesus became finite.
Yeah, because this hour cannot be grasped in the finite. God doesn't cease to exist in infinite, but the way He's projecting Himself in the finite.
Can I ask you?
Let me think. The way He's projecting Himself in the finite, you cannot grasp. We cannot grasp that time.
I think we can grasp it. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why.
Then you are God.
You have God. You keep using. You see, you're conflating terms here. You keep saying God is infinite, but a part of God came down and wasn't infinite. What you have to say is this: unless you believe that God is compartmentalized, half of God is in heaven or outside of the finite space, and therefore is infinite, but another half of Him is not infinite. It is finite. You can't say, oh, God is infinite, but God isn't infinite, because it doesn't make any sense, Raphael.
You can't have your cake and eat it too.
So you have to be precise in your terms that you use. Listen, hold on.
Very precise.
No, you're not precise. I'll tell you what. Okay, I'll tell you why I'm paying attention. Because if it's possible for God to be finite and God not to be finite, you have to then agree that it's possible for God to be temporarily eternal. Why? Because you are now affirming contradictions, impossibilities. You have to affirm it's possible for a married bachelor to be true. It's possible. I'm finished.
If you don't let me speak,
Raphael, I'll give you.
He will let you finish. He will let you respond. He will let you respond.
I'm trying to get you to understand.
Because you are speaking, you answer yourself.
No. It's very simple.
Question or is it a statement?
It's very simple. You cannot say God is infinite and in the same breath say God is not infinite. You have to say the Father is infinite, but the Son is not infinite, because you said the Son, when His aspect came down, He was finite. So make up your mind. Is the Son infinite?
I just say I make my mind.
Okay, so is the Son infinite or finite?
I just say the manifestation of the Son on earth is finite.
Okay, good. So the Son is finite, right? Is the Father infinite or finite?
The Father is infinite.
So how can God be 100% infinite when 50% at the very least is infinite and 50% is finite?
You see? Now listen carefully. I gave this analogy.
Yeah, I'm listening.
I gave the analogy of the moon because if you think, you use your mind.
Remember, the moon's up there. The moon.
Let me finish.
The moon is either 100% the moon.
Let me finish.
Or not.
It doesn't work.
Let me finish. The moon is still the moon. It is the way you perceive the moon. The way the moon is projected to you. That's what makes the difference.
I'm looking at the moon.
That's what we are saying. So
I'm not saying that. You're saying that.
Yeah, that's what we are saying. Okay. So God doesn't cease to be the infinite God.
Yeah. Just like the moon. Just like the moon doesn't cease to be in the moon, right?
Earth in Jesus.
Yeah.
So what you say doesn't even contradict.
Excuse me, Raphael, excuse me.
But it's very easy, very simple. Just maybe you can go home and listen to this, and you're going to be
that does not make sense at all.
It makes perfect sense.
I'll tell you why. The aspect of the moon that we see, will always remain the moon. You can't go to the moon and look back down.
God will always remain God.
Let him respond.
I know, that's what you claim, but from your own admittance, God will not always be God, because a portion of God will have to become finite for 33 years. So
easy to perceive, but you are not using.
It's not easy to perceive.
No, it's impossible to perceive.
It is easy.
Raphael,
when you see,
is it possible for God to be?
Imagine that the crescent moon. When you see the crescent moon, is still the moon.
Yes, but it's not the full moon, is it?
It's not the full. But that's what we say as Christians. The aspect of God, the Word of God, manifested in the flesh.
Okay,
that's what we say. We never say the infinite God in entirety became baby Jesus.
No, I didn't say that.
Many Christians believe.
But you believe that
many Muslims believe
the infinite God became finite. You believe that an infinite God became finite, and you still insist He's infinite.
He is projected.
How is that possible?
Why don't we make it very simple?
Finite, very easy. I don't know.
You know what? Because you said simple. No, Raphael. there's a way of solving this in an easy way.
Yeah.
You're talking about projection, right?
It's just for
Listen. Let's go beyond projection. Before the projection happened, projection happened 2,000 years ago, according to Jesus' body, right? Yes. In the divine reality where God is, in your belief, God is eternally Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Is that correct? Good. Let's talk about that reality and see whether this is something that is before there was a moon, or a sun, or a human, or a planet, right?
Do not misrepresent me. I'm giving some idea for understanding. Okay,
Raphael, let's not talk about
I know you guys
creation
like
anymore.
mocking.
I didn't say I wasn't mocking.
You guys like mocking, but do not do that.
He's saying
wrong discussion.
Will disappear.
Excuse me, wrong discussion. Go to that.
Stop it.
Step aside. Not interested.
Just say what I said.
Yeah, keep quiet. So, Raphael, here it is. Raphael, here it is.
Everybody has the right here to talk.
If he keeps on interrupting, we're going to move, and second time he moves, he will be called to the police for harassment, right? So now, wait, no. I invited my friend. Did you invite him? Did you invite him for correspondence and for some benefit in the discussion? He hasn't invited you, so
yes, he did. He did. Ask him.
Did you invite him? He said you did. He said you invited him.
You're welcome to invite him if he contributes. I have no mind.
We wouldn't recommend it.
Right. Good. So now, to continue this simplistic simple way to understand. Before God created this universe, before God created your God, concept of God that you have, created this universe. Yeah, this universe. So this universe doesn't exist. No planets, no solar system, nothing. No human beings, no human Jesus either. So we're talking and focusing on the divine reality of God in your belief, which is a tri-personal entity. Within this tri-personal entity, does the Father and the Son communicate with each other?
They communicate with each other.
Do they? I'm asking.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
They communicate. So obviously communication happens because they are consciously separate from each other in terms of their identity. The Son can communicate with the Father because they know consciously, I'm not the Father.
As I was telling you, God has different consciousness in that sense.
Good. So you have now more than one center of consciousness within your God, one God. Is that right?
What do you say?
Do you believe in your concept of God there are more than one center of consciousness?
Okay, based on our human being understanding of consciousness, I think God may have many consciousness. The reason why I say that
at least three.
At least he has many.
Good.
The reason why can I just
go ahead?
You're just talking.
Go ahead.
The reason why I say that is because of the example I gave in the beginning when we started the discussion, saying that God can be talking to an angel, talking to another archangel, talking to a prophet, all at the same time.
And still can be one person.
Yes.
He's one consciousness.
Being,
can one consciousness, one being, describe as God? God being one person, one consciousness, can he still do that?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Yes. So he doesn't need. Thank you. So right, you're supporting us. Thank you, but anyway. So
I didn't answer that.
Okay, so answer that question.
I was distracted.
If you have a concept of God, when you have a concept of God where God is one person and one center of consciousness,
we don't believe.
Can God? Listen.
We don't believe God.
I am giving you a definition, not your belief. I didn't say it's a Christian.
I don't need to believe in what you believe.
I'm not giving you a Christian definition.
Okay.
I am saying if you have a concept of God. Listen. If you have a concept of God in which there is one person and one center of consciousness.
We don't have it.
I'm not talking about Trinity. Not your belief. Not your belief. Okay, I'm talking about another belief. Different belief. Good. In that belief system, is it also possible what you describe, this one being called God with one consciousness and one person, being one person, talking to an angel and other archangel at the same time?
You tell me.
I'm asking you, is it possible?
I didn't think. I've never thought about it.
What do you think? No, think. Let's give you chance to think.
I'm sure you thought about it many times.
No. I want you to think. So this is how we learn from each other. So think, because you haven't thought about it.
So a different belief, which is not a Christian belief.
Correct.
Can I say something?
No, you can't.
There is
Answer is here. The answer is
He's not invited. You are.
Disrupt.
there is a person
The
called
answer is here.
who is
Don't
talking
disrupt.
to-
The answer is in the Bible.
Correct. Go ahead.
If you
see how he's interrupting you? That's why you'll find it difficult.
If
Continue.
you want to know the answer, it's in the Bible.
So,
Let me talk to you.
so with his loud voice, I can't hear anything. Can you tell him to be quiet and go somewhere else, perhaps, so I can hear you? Go ahead.
I'm giving the reference. That's why they don't want the reference.
So the concept of this concept of God, which is not
their own knowledge.
Yes.
As I said, I have never thought about it, but he's saying that this God has one consciousness, and he talks to an angel, an archangel, and so on.